Nerfgaming www.youtube.com/nerfgaming1337.
Hi guys, and welcome to episode 10 from Nerf Gaming. In this episode I'll be giving you a how-to guide on the Fabricator in Karaggas Palace hard mode, the 4th boss. This fight is a little bit complicated if you're not experienced on how to do the puzzle. It can be a bit healer intensive depending on how well geared your tanks are. But as always guys, if you enjoy the video and you find it useful, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. Cheers for watching guys.
So if I don't see the droids,
right guys, the Fabricator on hard mode. I'll start off by explaining the boss abilities. Right, the boss has one main ability that he does to the tank, and that is puts a stacking debuff on him that removes his armour. Now the more stacks of the debuff he gets, the less armour he's got. So what we do is we have the main tank pull, then once he gets 5 stacks of the debuff, the other tank taunts off him, takes 5 stacks. But what we started doing is, as soon as the second tank taunts, when the first tank's debuffs have gone, he taunts straight away. And the same when he gets the second tank's debuffs fall off, he taunts. And they just roll the taunts like that. That's pretty much as far as the boss ability goes. Right, the boss has a stacking buff on him that increases damage done. He also has a stacking buff that increases his armour and reduces the damage he takes. Right, now in this video this was done with just one healer, because as you can see I'm standing there doing nothing. I wanted to give everyone a good view of the puzzle. But this was done with one healer, so we was using all 3 of the fire tubes. Now I'll explain the fire tubes guys, working from the right to left. The very right fire tube removes the armour buff that the boss gets and increases damage he takes for a short period of time. The middle flame tube will suck up any adds that are around the boss, and sometimes the ones that are up on the platform. And the very last one on the left will remove his damage increased buff. Now the adds that spawn guys, there's proximity mines that spawn there. If you go near them in the blue radius that's around them, they explode. They do a large amount of damage and put a dot on you. Now that's up the top, and there are some down the bottom. Down the bottom there are also stun droids, which if you go near them they stun you. So it's helpful to, because obviously the tanks are kiting the boss up and down the walkway, it's helpful to get the DPS to burn down the stun droids as fast as possible. Now what we normally do is we only use the flame tube on the right and the middle flame tube. We no longer bother with the very end one, because it's easy enough to heal through the damage. Right, the puzzle guys. To actually use the flame tubes you have to solve this puzzle. And this puzzle is the same as the Tower of Hanoi puzzle. If you Google it, there's some good simulators online. I'll also put one in the description. The idea of the puzzle is to get all the green symbols stacked in a row on whichever flame tube you want to use, starting from the largest at the bottom to the smallest on the top. Now you can only put a smaller piece on top of a bigger piece, so it has to be stacked in like a pyramid. There's no other way of doing it. And you move the pieces by clicking the square button control console, as you can see me doing in the video near the end, because one of our DPS decided to die. Now once it's all stacked up, to actually fire the flames out of the tube you have to click the little button just to the right of the control console, and that will fire it. Now as soon as that's done, it's basically the same thing again. You've got to solve the puzzle on whichever tube you want. Now what we do is, before you actually use the flame tube, the DPS need to get in position to start killing the boss, to make sure that there's a maximum amount of damage. Now, because the middle tube only sucks up the adds and the one on the far left only removes his damage increase debuff, there's no point DPSing on those two tubes. The only one you want to DPS on is the tube on the right, as that increases his damage taken and removes his damage reduction buff.
3, 2.
Now, as long as the DPS are in position, you can burn him down pretty fast during that phase. Now, the proximity droids that spawn, they spawn right by the buttons at the back. So the best thing to do is just before the damage increase debuff wears off the boss, all DPS need to run back to their buttons and run just to the side of their buttons and get ready to start killing the proximity droids that have spawned on their buttons. You kill those and then just start clicking the buttons again. And that's pretty much it, guys. As always, cheers for watching. Also guys, he fires a missile at people. Now, if it hits you, it just does damage. If it hits anyone, if it hits you and there's someone near you, it will knock them flying. So try and stay spread out. That's it, guys. As always, cheers for watching. And if you found the guide useful, hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Cheers for watching, guys.
Use it. Start holding yourself. 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1,
Bruno, you're out
2,
of line.
1.
Yeah, I'm in position. Don't worry.
One, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1.
Always down.
DPS zero.
Stay on the boss and kill it.
Right, use
No,
it.
you think now.
Nice.
There it is.
Good job.
Right,
Oh, I died right at the
this
end.
res
That's
Nova
bollocks.
and then